Today we got a movie called King Kung Fu, a movie from the 70s that didn't get released until the late 80s.
Yeah, that was a bad movie.
Yeah, so basically this movie is just one big, advertisement for Wichita, Kansas, which, by the way, if you live in Wichita, Kansas, you suck.
Yeah, your town fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, but town fucking sucks.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of Wichita, Kansas, personally.
People from Kansas are pretty nice, but I bet they're also happy to get the fuck out of Kansas because of that roaming giant gorilla that does kung fu.
Yep, King Kung Fu himself. It's we watched this movie because the angry video game nerd told us that it was a
Terrible.
terrible but fun film, and we believed him, and that was a bad idea because it's fucking terrible. Like,
It's
not
just
even in a
bad.
good way. It's not good.
See, it's not like you watch Starship Troopers and you're just like, wow, this is a really good bad movie. No, this was zero entertainment all the time.
Well, what really frustrates me about King Kung Fu is you can tell that they had a little bit of a budget to begin with. They tried to
Yeah.
make the movie, and then they just shelved it and didn't do anything with it. So then they half-ass brought it back out
Yep.
in the mid '80s to try to do something with it, and then this is what they come up with. They should have just shelved it for good and just not bothered with it because it looks very dated, even for like the late '80s and early '90s.
You mean late 70s and early 80s?
Well, yeah, I guess it looks even dated from when they were trying to film it. So, but I'm just saying
Because it looked like a like a film that finally got color.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the movie was made in the 70s, and then
Yeah.
they didn't get released till the late 80s. That's when I looked it
Oh,
up
okay,
online.
okay.
That's what it said. But basically, this might be a short review because we didn't really like it very much.
It was bad.
But basically, to take you through the whole story, literally, there's a kung fu gorilla that lives in China, and by the way, his Chinese master is a white guy doing yellow face.
Definitely a redneck
Yeah.
white guy,
Yeah.
the Midwestern truck stop fatty.
Yep, and basically what ends up happening is, the gorilla was raised by him, his master taught him kung fu and stuff, and then basically beats the shit out of his master. He throws him around.
To be fair, though, this kung fu master of his did fuck with him on the whole get the banana out of my hand thing, and he broke his arm.
Broke his arm. Yeah, you don't do that to a gorilla. First of all, a gorilla's gonna fuck you up.
First off, never do monkey business with a gorilla.
Yeah, they'll go very ape on you.
Ape shit.
Ape shit. So my thing is this. The movie basically takes place in Wichita, Kansas, which I said is an advertisement for Kansas, and obviously the local eateries and
things to
and
do.
businesses and shit. You see a scene where they have Pizza Hut. You see a scene where they have the tallest building in Wichita, which was
Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, and then you see other businesses just plastered everywhere. And
like the zoo.
yeah, like the zoo. And then in the middle of the movie, the guy breaks the fourth wall and looks into the camera and goes, "Oh, it's almost like they should go to Wichita, Kansas." And then this music starts playing and it's just landscape shots, and literally King Kung Fu is just walking around, looking around. He's just like, "Oh, look at that."
Yeah, and then the local baseball team gets beat up by King Kung Fu.
Yep, King Kung Fu whips their ass. But basically, the whole plot of the story is China sends King Kung Fu over to the United States as a peace offering.
Yeah.
And basically, these two fucking dumbasses who apparently do local news, and
They weren't even local news. They were just
they're
basically
the National Enquirer or something.
yeah,
like that.
they're the Wayne's World.
Yeah.
They're on public access television, and they're like, "What we want to do the news for real."
Yep.
And they're like, "Why is this news broadcaster who is actually talented and intelligent?
Yep.
Why is he telling the news? It could be us."
Yep. And when I see that guy, the guy, his buddy kind of reminds me of a cross between David Cross and some other
Groucho.
We had Groucho. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
It was like a Groucho Marx, David crossbreed.
Yeah. And then basically what ends up happening though is they unveil King Kung Fu. They show up, they film it, and while they're getting set up and everything, we basically see all these characters that they established that are supposed to be jokes and basically like little bits. They have like a group of grannies who don't like to see animals naked or something, which is
Yeah,
fucking
there was
weird.
no explanation of that.
Yeah.
Like, at least with zero explanation, we can understand that for some reason
Mhm.
the sheriff of the town is trying to be John Wayne 100% of the time.
Yeah, he says pilgrim after everything he says.
He's full on John Wayne. He never breaks character.
Yep, pretty much. And then you got the general guy who's like, well, we got him in Wichita, Kansas. We literally have him surrounded.
Yeah, it's a landlocked state.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So,
could say we got him surrounded.
yep. And and you could see the pain in his like face when he says it. It's
You know
pretty.
what? I bet you that was like his dad, like
Yeah.
some Korean War vet
Yep.
that they just that they're like, "Hey, Dad, get in your old uniform. We're gonna just like we're gonna church this up a little bit." He's like, "Oh shit, I want you out of my basement."
Yep. Pretty much. And then you have at the Pizza Hut, by the way, you have the one dude's girlfriend slash not sure if it's his girlfriend. It's never really
She's
100%
she's just
established.
there. She
She's
goes
kind of
and
there.
dates him.
Yep, she just goes and dates him. But then she feels sorry for King Kung Fu because basically what they try to do is they try to set up King Kung Fu as like this menace to society so they can find a story. And then she has like this sympathy for King Kung Fu. And
Yeah.
basically, like, they let him out and he goes on a fucking spree just whipping everybody's ass. Like, he whips the shit out of the cops. Like, they're doing like backflips and shit. He's whipping their ass.
Oh
So
yeah, he's
bad.
like spin kicking people in the head. It's like
Uh,
all I could think of is now this whole police force is mentally retarded from getting kicked in the head by a gorilla.
Yep. No, he just doesn't show any mercy. But the thing is,
Mhm.
like, there's a part in the movie, like, because basically once he's let out and he's roaming around, that's when shit gets really weird and the plot gets a little strange because like
Yeah.
everybody's chasing him. Like the
Mhm.
you know the two guys with the girl are chasing him, the cops are chasing him, and they're trying to figure out where King Kung Fu is. And then you get to see like it says from what I read that that's like his inner dialogue like
Yeah.
going on in his head, but it's like this weird like thing where he's like,
He's talking
"Oh, I
about
better make like a banana and split,"
yeah, at least he's doing a bunch of gorilla puns.
Yeah,
At least we got that.
yeah,
That was it.
we had that to work with. And basically what ends up happening is it turns into like a Mad Mad World type of movie where basically they're racing against the clock to get to King Kung Fu and he basically what ends up happening is he ends up getting on a hot air balloon with the chick and then the cop and the two reporters like end up chasing him.
Yeah.
And then when they get to the building, I swear to God, Nick, that is the worst stop motion
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
ever
that
seen in
stop
my
motion was
life.
rough.
And so, like, basically, they're on top of the Holiday Inn building, fucking fighting him, and it's supposed to be like an homage to like King Kong,
Yeah.
but it didn't really hit very well, in my opinion.
I like how they established that he also one of the news reporters knows kung fu because he channels his rage to break things.
Yes, that was bad. And basically, what ends up happening is they fight.
King
You
Kung
know,
Fu falls off the building.
King Kung Fu falls off the building. He gets into the helicopter. He flies off into the sunset. The guy gets the girl. The police officers are foiled, and that's pretty much the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And there's two things that stick out to me about this movie that I really didn't like. I didn't like that scene where the dude's like henchman that was working with him,
Yeah.
like his buddy, who was also part of the
David Marks.
whatever.
I feel like you said, it looks like Groucho Marx
Yeah,
and David Cross mixed together.
Yeah, so basically, what he ends up doing is he goes on this whole thing where he goes and pursues the gorilla by himself,
Yeah.
ends up getting the girl, and then it turns out it was all just a fucking fantasy.
Yeah, but it never established he was sleeping.
No, there was nothing. There was no like establishment that it was a fantasy. And then we get to see the real thing happen, and then he's like a little bitch and gets put in jail.
Which still, there's a scene over there. There's like a lot of choppy scenes, like where he runs into one of the police officers, and the guy's like, "Hey, where'd you come from?" And it just chops over to him, like chloroforming the next guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't establish what happened to the cop that said that. Like it was the worst editing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then I also didn't really like I really didn't like the bit where it turns out like it actually was an advertisement for Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
Because basically they're sitting in the girl's apartment and they go, "Oh, it's almost like they should go to Wichita, Kansas." And then it cuts to King Kung Fu and they play like this music and the music is supposed to set the tone and then they're like, "Wichita, Wichita."
It's when you knew the movie was really dying. Like they were looking for funding.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Yeah, you know what? If you can somehow match in Wichita, Kansas in here,
Yeah.
we'll give you some money.
Well, that was right, and right after that, that's when he went to the baseball park, beat the shit out of the fucking, like,
Yeah.
baseball players.
I mean, we're kind of circling back a lot, but I mean, it was an odd fucking movie.
Yes, it was. I mean, you could definitely tell that they ran out of money, and they were just trying to push this thing out, and it looked like somebody shot it on a fucking camcorder,
Yeah.
you know? And it may have been shot on film, I don't know. I mean, they around that time period, they had 16 millimeter and 8 millimeter cameras, but I mean, it was shot in the 70s, so they probably didn't have videotape yet. So it was probably shot on probably like 8 or 16 millimeter film, but it's not a good movie. And we looked up look at the actors and stuff, and none of the actors went anywhere. The director
No.
didn't make another movie. So basically, what we're saying is it's a fucking turd, and it's not even a fun turd.
We were lied to.
It's fucking terrible. And James Roll from Cinemassacre, Angry Video Game Nerd, no, dude.
You
It is
lied.
not it is not an entertaining movie because he was like, "It's a fun little movie." No, it's not. It's not fun. It's terrible. It was like pulling teeth. I don't ever want to see it again. If we have to watch it again, Nick, I will fucking burn something down. Hey, Retro Red West here. Thanks for checking out my content. Retro Red West on all major platforms, social media, what have you. New content dropping every Monday at 3 p.m. and sometimes on Fridays. And new clips every day on my social media platforms.